Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I'm a software architect, and after years of grinding, I finally bought my dream home, a beautiful modern half-duplex in a quiet suburban community. The shared wall was solid, the small garden perfect for my morning coffee, and I envisioned years of peace and quiet. My partner, Eleanor, a freelance writer, loved the potential for a calm workspace. Then Dean and Brenda moved into the other half. At first, it was just typical neighbor noise, loud music now and then, a late-night gathering. But it quickly escalated. Dean, it turned out, was an amateur metalworker, and the constant clang, grind, and hum from his workshop would reverberate through the shared wall, often starting at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Brenda's favorite pastime seemed to be screaming at Dean, often at 2 a.m. Their parties grew louder, more frequent, with bass thumping so hard my framed pictures would visibly shake. Eleanor, who needs quiet to concentrate on her writing, started suffering. She developed debilitating migraines, her concentration evaporated, and her deadlines became impossible to meet. Her income plummeted. I tried everything: polite notes, a friendly chat over the fence, even a direct conversation where I explained Eleanor's health issues. Dean just shrugged, saying, "It's our place, we do what we want. If you don't like noise, move to a monastery." Brenda just smirked, a cruel gleam in her eyes. The breaking point came when Eleanor had a severe anxiety attack, her doctor explicitly linking it to the constant stress from the noise. My helplessness turned into a cold, burning rage. Official channels, I knew, would be slow and often ineffective. Noise ordinances usually only covered late-night hours, leaving me defenseless against Dean's daytime workshop and their general disregard. Then a memory surfaced. My father, Robert, had been an amateur sound engineer and DJ in his youth. He still had professional-grade sound equipment stored in his garage, powerful stuff designed to fill concert halls. A plan began to form, malicious in its simplicity. If they could legally make noise that made our lives hell, then I could legally return the favor, but with a precise, targeted, and utterly infuriating vengeance. I spent weeks researching acoustic principles, low-frequency resonance, and psychoacoustics. My goal wasn't just volume, but irritation. I compiled a digital library of the most maddening sounds I could find. Industrial hums designed to cause subtle nausea, discordant drone music, high-pitched sine waves that mimicked tinnitus, the most saccharine and repetitive children's songs. Think, the wheels on the bus on an endless loop, and even recordings of incredibly boring, monotone lectures on obscure topics. I borrowed 2 massive subwoofers and a high-wattage amplifier from Robert. He asked what I needed them for, and I just smiled and said, "A little home improvement project." I positioned the subwoofers strategically against the shared wall, slightly off-center to maximize resonance in their living space. Crucially, I installed several layers of sound-deadening panels on my side of the wall, not just for my own sanity, but for plausible deniability. I wanted their home to be unlivable, not mine. I began my campaign on a Monday morning. I set the amplifier to a deep, resonant hum just above the threshold of felt rather than heard, designed to vibrate through their floorboards and furniture. I left for work, Eleanor to her parents. When I returned, Dean was outside, looking absolutely furious, while Brenda glared at me from behind their curtains. No words were exchanged, but their faces told me everything. For the next few days, I varied the assault. After the hum, it was dissonant experimental music, then a loop of It's a Small World at a slightly uncomfortable volume, followed by high-frequency tones. They tried to retaliate with louder parties, more banging from Dean's workshop. I just adjusted my volume and content, always staying within the letter of the law for daytime noise, always pushing the boundaries of annoyance. Dean escalated by leaving a bag of rotting garbage on my porch. I photographed it, sent the evidence to the HOA with a note about a nuisance. They called the HOA, they called the police. 2 officers arrived one afternoon. I politely invited them in, showed them my decibel meter reading a perfectly legal 65 dB, and pointed to the massive subwoofers. "Officer, I'm just enjoying my home theater system. Is there a specific noise violation?" They looked bewildered. No, there wasn't. The HOA told them the same thing. They were powerless. The noise battle continued for 2 harrowing weeks. Dean looked gaunt, circles under his eyes. Brenda's shouting matches dwindled, replaced by hushed, desperate arguments. Then, one glorious afternoon, I heard the unmistakable thud of a for sale sign being pounded into their front lawn. It was the sweetest sound I'd heard in months. They were gone within a month. I later learned through a mutual acquaintance that they had broken their lease, incurring significant financial penalties, and had to sell off most of Dean's metalworking equipment at a steep loss to cover costs. His crafting business was effectively dead because he couldn't practice it quietly. They lost money, their home, and their peace of mind. I got mine back. The silence in my home now is profound, a testament to what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. They learned the hard way that a quiet life is a privilege, not a given.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.